In this class, we will start with our topic DOM navigation. So inside DOM navigation, we'll learn how to navigate into the node tree using this DOM navigation. Okay. So what is nodes? Okay. What is a node tree? So here we'll see what is a node tree. Here when we go to our W3 schools and we go to navigation here. So you can see this is the node tree actually. Okay. So first in the high at the highest position, that is there is document, then at the second position there is HTML, means the child of this document is this HTML. Okay, this is the root element. Now that there are two child elements, that is one is head and the other is body. So the child element of this HTML tag is this head tag and body tag. Okay, so this is these two have parent of HTML tag, and this has two childs, that is head and body. In the same case here, head has one child, that is title, and body has here three childs. Okay, here it is showing three childs, it can be more. So here it is taking href attribute, a element and h1 element. So here these are three childs of this body tag over here, and this head tag has only one child over here, that is title. Inside this, the child element, the child text is my title, and over here you can see inside the anchor tag the text is my link, and inside the header, that is h1 tag, the text is my header, means this is the parent class, the highest element is the parent class and the lowest one is the child class. Okay, so here it is written, with the HTML DOM, all nodes in the node tree can be accessed by JavaScript. New nodes can be created and all nodes can be modified or deleted. Okay, so with the help of this node method, we can modify or delete our nodes. So here you can see this inner HTML. Here we have used our inner HTML. Just a minute. So this inner HTML, so we are outputting the result with the help of this inner HTML. Now we'll do with the node method. Okay, by the node way. Okay, so we will use our this we are adding, will add this particular element in the node way. Here one thing you will notice, when I will come down, here you can see some of the certain flowchart is given. Okay, so here this is the HTML element, and the second here is this head tag over here. So this HTML tag is the parent node of this head tag. Okay, and this is the first child of this head tag over here. Okay, so this is the child, means the first child over here. Okay, this head tag is the first child of this HTML element, and this HTML tag over here is the parent node of this head tag over here. So the uppermost position is the parent and the lowermost position is the child. Now here you can see this element has head, and this root element has two childs over here, first child and last child. One is head and one is body. Okay, so here you have seen this HTML has two childs, head and body. So here the first child is head and the last child is body over here. Now you can see these two are next siblings. Okay, this is the next sibling of this head tag, and this is the previous sibling of this body tag over here. So means the body is the next sibling of this head tag, and this head is the previous sibling of this body tag. Okay, so these are some of the keywords that we'll use in order to output our result. Now let's see how can we do this. So what we'll do first, we'll first create our new file over here. Just a minute. So here I will write the topic as DOM navigation. like this. Now we'll start. Suppose what we'll do is, here in our index.html, first what we'll do is, first we'll remove some of our code over here. Now what we'll do, suppose we want to target, like here we are targeting, here we have our para. Suppose I will target this demo over here. Okay, here I'll write suppose hi. So I will target this demo ID over here. So in our index file here, what I'll do is I'll simply add document dot get element by ID, and I will target the demo ID, and what I will do is I will output this hi, means the text inside this h2 tag. Okay, and I want to output it, okay, here like this. So I want to output, so I'll just target it first and store it somewhere. Okay, so I'm storing it in a text variable over here, and I want to output it in this here. What I will do is, here I will remove this, and I want to output it inside this ID. Okay, this s3 tag that has an ID of demo1. So here we have stored it in a text variable. Now what we'll do is we'll simply target that demo1 ID here. Just a minute. So here what we'll do, we'll target that demo1 like this, and we'll simply add .innerhtml over here, and we'll simply output the text variable like this. So here you can see, first we are targeting the demo ID and storing it, and storing the text that is inside that demo ID. We are storing that text inside this text variable, and we are outputting it into this demo1 ID, that is s3 tag over here. Now we'll save both of these files, and here we'll change the path. We'll change it to index22.js. Now when we save, here you will see we are getting too high, because what we are doing here, we have taken high over here. Okay, so I'll simply, this h2 is high over here, so we are getting this high from the h2 tag over here, and here we are getting this second high from s3 tag over here. Okay, so you can see this is the h2 tag high text, and this is the s3 tag text. Okay, so we are doing it with HTML, and we are outputting it with JavaScript. Now we can also use node properties, okay, in order to output this result. So what we'll do is we'll remove this inner HTML, and we'll use first child dot node value. Okay, so this is the property. So first child refers to this over here. Okay, so here you can see this is the first child that will come over here. Okay, so what I will do is I will simply comment this out, and I will simply use this h2 over here. So I want to target this high over here. Okay, so what I will do, I will simply remove this inner HTML, and I will use first child. First child targets this high over here. Okay, so first child means this particular text over here. So this is the first child. Okay, and now we are targeting the node value. Node value here refers to this text over here. Okay, so first child refers to this because we are targeting it by demo. Okay, so first child, here we can see only one demo ID is present over here. Okay, so we are targeting the first child over here. Suppose we'll have S3 ID equals to demo, like this. So here now we have two demo ID. Okay, so what we want is we want to target this first ID over here. Okay, so here what we are doing is we are taking the first child. First child means this first h2 tag over here, and then we are targeting the node value. Node value means this particular text, high text over here. Okay, now when we save it, here I will remove this and will simply save this and refresh it. Now you can see this is giving us hello. Okay, so here I will remove this. We are targeting the first child here. Here we are not outputting our result dynamically. Here we are providing these two texts. Okay, so what I will do is I will simply comment out this line, and I will output this particular text. Okay, so suppose I will target the first child over here, and I will output this particular text into this demo1 over here. Okay, demo1 ID, that is S3 tag. So now here I will remove this and I will store it in the text variable over here like this. Now I will simply use the inner HTML over here. Okay, like this. So we are targeting the demo over here. Okay, this demo ID. Okay, that is high, and we are storing it in the text variable. Now what we want is we want to store it in this demo1. Okay, so demo1 here, what I will do, I will simply comment this out and I will make a copy of this. So now we have two demo1. Okay, so here I will use h1 over here in order to understand it quickly. So here the first is h3 tag and the second is h1 tag over here. So we want to target this demo1, so I want to target this first child over here. So what I am doing, we are storing this, we are storing the value that is inside this demo ID, and we are storing it in a text variable, and now we are outputting it inside this first child. Okay, means we are targeting the demo1 ID, that is this ID, this both the IDs. Okay, so both the S3 and H1 tag has demo1 ID, but we are targeting the first child. Okay, so we are targeting the first child means this is the first child over here, and we want to output this result into this node value. Okay, so node value is actually the text inside this S3 tag. Okay, so we will simply save it, and now we are getting high. Okay, so we are outputting the result in this S3 tag over here. Okay, suppose what I do, suppose I will use last child over here. Now you will see the difference here. Suppose what I will do is last child. Here when we inspect this, suppose we'll go and inspect this. Here you can see this high is coming inside this h2 tag over here. Okay, sorry, this h1 tag. So here we aren't getting any, we have one error, that is node value of null. Okay, so we can't set the node value, means here we can't set the node value. Actually, this last child, this value is coming as null. Okay, so we can't set any null value to this node value. So we are making a mistake here. So here we are targeting the wrong demo actually. Here will target this demo, and here I will replace it with demo 1, because here we have demo 1 as this empty. Okay, so we have demo 1 as empty, so we will use this, and we suppose we can also do it like this. So I will cut it and paste it over here. So I can also use like this. So now what we are doing is we are taking this last child, demo last child actually. So here we don't have, so here we have only first child. So I'll just comment this out. Now we have two demo, so it will target the last child, that is this over here, and I will make it empty actually. I will make both the demo empty, and I will fill this demo one like this, hi and hello. So here what we have written, we are targeting the last child of this ID demo. Last child means this is the last child of the ID demo, and we want to access the node value. So the node value is the text inside this S3 tag. So this is the node value, and I want to output the text. What text? This demo1 dot inner HTML means this text over here. Okay, so this demo1 dot inner HTML. Suppose I will comment this out. So I want to output this hi into this demo. Okay, so I'm taking the last child over here. So I'll save both the files, and now when we refresh, here we are getting an error actually. Here we are getting an error. I'll suppose I will remove all this, and I will do it from the beginning. Suppose now here suppose I will replace this like this. So we have one ID as demo and one ID as demo1. Okay, so what we want is we want to target this text, hi text, and we want to output this inside this demo ID over here. So now what we'll do is we'll target this empty, this hi over here. Okay, so first what we'll write, we'll use document dot get element by ID, and then what we'll do, we will target that ID that has an empty, that is empty actually. So here we have this demo over here, demo ID has an is empty, this demo ID is empty. So what we'll do, we'll target this demo, and we'll target with the help of inner HTML. Now what we want is we want to output this result over here, this result into this tag, S3 tag over here. So now how can we target that? Document dot get element by ID demo1. Now we want to target this hi over here, this text. Okay, so here we are having one demo1 ID, so we'll target the first child dot, and if I want to target that particular text that is inside this S3 tag, that is hi. Okay, I want to output this, so I will target the node value. So this is the property node value. Okay, so in this way we can target this text, this hi text and we'll output it in this h3 tag over here. Now when we save this, now when we refresh, we'll get hi 2 times, because here at first we are getting this h3 tag hi, that is coming with the help of this node value over here, and in the second case we are getting it with the HTML. Okay, suppose what I will do, I will make it h1. Okay, like this. Now you can see this h1 is empty over here, and we are bringing this hi with the help of JavaScript. Now you can see this hi is coming with the help of JavaScript, so it has h1 tag over here. So what we are doing here, we are first targeting the empty h3 tag, okay, sorry, empty h1 tag, that is id demo, that is an id demo, and we are outputting this hi text inside this demo id over here, that is h1 tag. Okay, so we can access the first child dot node value. Okay, we can also use the inner html like this. Okay, or you can use the first child dot node value. One more method is there. You can also use the, you cannot use the first child in order to, in the opposite case, suppose here you can also use class, sorry, child nodes over here. Okay, so here we'll give the index. Okay, like we want to target the first index. Child nodes means this is the child node. Suppose here what I will do, here we are targeting this demo one. Here if we have two demo one like this. Okay, so if we want to target this hello over here, okay, so how can we target? So you can also target it by like this. Okay, like last child dot node value like this. So this is the last child. Okay, because both have same IDs, that is demo one. So this is the first child of this demo one ID, and this is the last child of this demo one ID. Now when we save this, you will get output the result as hello. Okay, so we are getting as hello. So here inside this h1 tag we aren't getting hello here. Okay, so we are targeting this demo. So what we'll do, we'll try another approach, that is child nodes like this, and we'll target the first index over here, and let's see if this works or not. So here we are getting the node value of undefined, so we are not targeting the required ID over here. So here we are not able to target the child node, means the index 1 of the child node. What we'll do, we will simply suppose change the index number over here. Now it will target, so like here you can see, so we can write like this first child, or we can write like this child nodes as 0 like this. So you can apply both the methods. Okay, so both are the same thing. Okay, this child nodes 0 means it also targets the first child, and this keyword over here, this first child keyword, also targets the first child. Now when we save it, now we should get our hi over here. Okay, so this h1 tag is empty at the start. Okay, so we are getting this hi with the help of this child nodes dot node value. Actually here we are targeting the first child over here. You can see this is the first child. Okay, so we are targeting the first child and we are outputting it in this h1 tag over here. So this is the first property this child node and the first child is the, these are the properties. Okay, actually this child nodes or the first child or the node value, these are all the properties of this DOM navigation. Okay, so these are all of the properties of this DOM navigation. Now we'll use another property name, that is node name. Okay, so now we'll use this. Suppose we want to highlight here, what we want is, we'll use this node name like this. So what we want is, we want to access the tag. Okay, actually I want to access the tag of this demo1 id over here. Okay, so I'm outputting the result into this demo id over here, and what I want is, first I'm targeting this demo1 id, that is this demo1 id, and now I want to extract the access the node name. Node name actually refers to this tag over here. Okay, this is the node name, that is s3. Okay, so let's save it and let's check what is the result. So now you're getting the s3 because we are accessing the node name here, and the node name refers to this s3 over here. Okay, so this whole is the, this is the first child. Okay, this text over here is the node value, and this tag over here is the node name. Okay, so these are the properties of this DOM navigation. Now we will learn how to create new HTML nodes. So we'll give our topic as add or create HTML nodes. Okay, so we'll create these HTML nodes by the help of one keyword, that is create element. So this is the keyword which will be used for creating HTML nodes. So let's take one example over here. Suppose here we have our demo like this. Here we have our, suppose I will comment this out over here first, and here we will add something. Suppose I will take a div over here, div id equals to any name you can give. Suppose I will give 1 over here. So this is our div. Inside that I will add 2 paragraphs over here, and I will give id to both of them. Suppose p1 like this. So this is the first para. Now we will copy this and replace it as second para, and we'll change the id as p2. So now what we'll do is, we have to create our HTML nodes. HTML nodes means this paragraph over here. So we will create this node dynamically with the help of JavaScript. So how can we do that? So here we have mentioned 2 paragraphs, and we have done it manually with the help of HTML. So now we'll add a paragraph into this div over here, inside this div. Now inside JavaScript, what we'll do, we'll use our document dot. So here I have told you that this create element will be used for creating this HTML node. So we'll use this keyword over here, create element. So here you can see the name is coming. So we'll use our create element, and which node or which element we have to create. So we have to create p. So we will simply use this p over here, that is paragraph p tag, and here I will assign it as a variable, as variable para equals to document.create element, and we are assigning this, we are creating this element p element. So we are giving the variable as para. So this will store, all things will be stored in this para variable. Now what we'll do, we will create this thing over here. So this text over here, what we have to write inside this paragraph. So first we have made this, which tag we have to make. We have made that tag with that element over here. Now we have to mention what things we have to mention inside this paragraph. So we'll now write that. So we'll use document dot, and how we can do that. So we'll use another keyword, that create text node. So this is the property over here, create text node, and what we want to write. So I will write our topic as third paragraph, third para. Okay. So inside this speed tag, I want to write this text. So with the help of create text node, I am writing this create element, say this text over here into this p tag. So I've only written this. Okay, so we'll store this in any variable over here. Suppose I'll take the name, a variable name as node. Now what we want here, we have simply created an element. Okay, so we have created our p element, and we have created our text node. Okay, now what we want is, we want to add this text inside this paragraph over here. So how can we do that? So simply here we want to add this paragraph into this p element over here. So here we have stored this thing inside this para. So we'll simply use para dot create, sorry, create, sorry, para dot append child. Okay, like this. So what we are doing is, we are adding this text inside this p element over here. So we'll simply add this node over here. So we are storing this text inside this node. So we are taking this para p tag, and we are appending the third para text inside this p element over here. So we are simply doing this. Now what we want is, we are adding this text inside this paragraph. But next what we want is, we want to add this this whole thing inside this div over here. So this id one div. Okay, so now what we'll do, we'll target this id over here. Here first we'll target that id, document dot get element by id. Now we'll target as 1. So we are targeting that particular div, and here we'll store this thing in one any variable. Okay, suppose I'll take lm. Okay, that is element. So I'm giving a name. Okay, you can give any name you want. So I'm storing this, first I'm targeting this div, and we are storing into this lm variable. Now what we'll do is, we want to add this thing. Okay, now here we have our para. Okay, so para has this paragraph over here. Okay, so we are appending the text inside this paragraph. So this paragraph now has this text. Okay, so we have to target our para like this, and we want to add para inside this lm variable. So here we have added our text inside this p tag. Now we want to add this para inside this lm variable. So we'll simply use the same method, lm dot append child, and we'll simply pass the para variable over here. Okay, so here we are just passing the para variable. Now we'll save it, and we'll also save this over here. And now let's check if this works or not. So we'll simply refresh this. So here you can see we are getting first para and second para. Here we aren't getting in our third para over here. So here let us check what is happening. We'll simply go to our inspector. We can go to inspect. So we are getting an error message that is cannot read property node name of null. Okay, so this is coming from over here. So we are not using this. So we'll simply comment this out over here. And now let's check whether it works or not. So now you can see our third para is coming over here. So this is coming dynamically with the help of JavaScript. Okay, so we are adding this. We are creating the element first, that is the p element, and then we are adding the text over here inside this p tag, and then we are adding this whole para into this div over here. Okay, so I'll once again explain. So here you can see we have created one div, okay, that has an ID of 1. Then we have created 2 paragraphs. Okay, now we want to add another paragraph with the help of JavaScript inside this div. So first what we want to do is we want to create an element. So what we have done here with the help of create element property, we are creating an element that is p element over here. So first we are creating the p element and we are storing it in a variable. Okay, now we are adding a text inside that paragraph with the help of this property create text node. Okay, so we are using this create text node property to add a text inside this paragraph, and we are storing all this into this node variable over here. Now what we want is we want to add this text into this p tag. So we are simply appending this node over here into this para variable over here. So para dot append child means we are appending the node to this para variable over here. Okay, so now we have like this. So we are will get like this. Okay, so the result will be like this. So it will come as para equals to like this. Okay, so this will have the para tag p tag and the text inside will be the third para like this. So now we want to add this para over here inside this div over here. So we are first targeting that div, and then we are taking that div and we are adding the same paragraph from here, and we are adding that paragraph into this lm variable, that is the div. Okay, so we are targeting the div first, then we are storing it in a variable, and then we are appending the para variable into this lm tag, that is our div. Okay, so this is the create element. We can create the element with this. We can create text node means we can add the text, and with this we can append the child. Okay, so these three are the properties of the HTML node. One thing here you will notice that when we are appending this lm, okay, this para over here inside this div, you will see it is added in the last position. Okay, so here we are adding the third para, this text over here in the last area. Okay, suppose we want to add before this second para over here. So how can we do that? So what we want is first, third, then second. Okay, like this. We want to add this third para text before this second para text over here. So we'll use another property, that is insert. Just a minute. Insert before, like this. So this is the property with which we'll be able to add the element before before the particular element. Okay, so how can we do that? So what we want is we first have to target this second para because we want to append the third para before this second para text. Okay. So we'll first have to target this P2 over here. So here what we'll do, we'll simply add, take a variable over here, para2 equals to document dot get element by id, and then I will target the para2, okay, sorry, p2 here like this. Okay, so now I'm targeting the p2 over here. Now what we'll do, we want to add this para over here. Okay, we want to add this para before this p2. Okay, inside this element. Okay, lm variable. So this will be same. Okay, so we are appending like this. So we'll not use append child, we'll use insert before like this. So we'll now use this property over here. So this takes two parameters. First will be the variable that is to be added. Okay, so here we are adding this para over here. So first we'll mention that para variable. So here it is not a string, it is a variable over here, so we'll not use a string. And then we have to give that particular variable that will be placed this after that particular para. Okay, so we want to place this para before this para2 variable. Okay, so we'll give this para2 over here. So what we are doing is we are adding this para over here before this para2 variable, that is p2 element over here. Okay, this p2 id, that is paragraph 2. Okay, and we are adding this into this element, that is the particular div. Now we'll save this and refresh this. So here you can see, first we are getting first para, then we are getting third para, and then we are getting the second para. So here you can see we are first targeting this second para over here because we want to add the element before this second para over here. Okay, so we will first target this, and then what we are doing, we are using this insert before property, and then in the first place we are giving that element, that variable that will be added. Okay, so here we are adding this para, and then we want to add before para2. Okay, that is this para2 variable. Okay, that is the p2 id. Okay, so we want to insert before this element. So in the second place we will give that variable name, and we will add this para over here into this lm variable. Lm means the particular div over here. Okay, so in this way we can use the insert before property to insert any element before any particular element that you have inserted manually. Okay, suppose here we want to insert the particular para element before this p1 over here. Okay, so we want to insert at the top position, so we'll simply change it to p1 over here, and here we'll change the variable, that is para1, and now we'll give this variable in the second place over here like this, para1, and we'll simply save it. Now when we check that particular element, that particular para that we added is at the topmost position. Okay, so like this you can add the particular element anywhere inside your div over here. Okay, and inside any position. Okay, now what we'll do is, suppose we want to remove. Okay, so what we will do next is, suppose we want to remove this paragraph. Okay, so we'll not do it manually. We will use remove method over here. Okay, so like this. This is the remove method. So what we'll do, we'll simply here comment this all. Now we'll target. Suppose we want to remove our first paragraph over here. Okay, so I want to remove this first para over here. So I will simply target that first para 1 equals to, so we are targeting it by its ID, document.get element by ID p1 like this. So we are targeting p1 over here, and what we want is we want to remove that particular element. So we'll take this para1 and we'll simply use this method over here, that this remove method like this. Now we are removing this particular element. So now we'll save it and let's check whether it is removed or not. So we'll refresh it. So now you can see our first para is removed from this browser. Okay, so we are doing it with the help of JavaScript. We are not doing it manually. We are removing this particular element with the help of JavaScript with this remove method over here. Okay, so this remove method that I've told, it is not supported in all the browsers. Okay, so for modern browsers, suppose if this remove method is not supporting your browser, so you can use another method, that is remove child. Okay, so this function same as this remove method over here. Okay, so in this remove child method, we have to target the parent node. That is, here we have our parent node as this div over here. So this is the parent node. Okay, so first we have to target this, and then we'll go to this child over here. Okay, so how we'll do this? So simply here I will just comment this out, and now what we'll do is first we'll target our parent element. Okay, so variable parent equals to document dot parent means that div that is wrapped. So these two paragraphs are wrapped inside this div over here. So we'll target this first, that is one, and now we will use another variable, that is variable child. Okay, so now we'll target one of the childs. Okay, so we'll simply use document dot get element by ID, and we want to remove our p1. Okay, so we are targeting like this. Okay, so in the same way we are targeting the p1 over here because we want to remove this first para over here. Okay, now what we want, we'll first target this parent over here. So we'll take this parent variable like this parent dot, and now we will use our remove child method. Okay, like this parent dot remove child, and then which child we have to remove, we have to remove this child over here. So we'll simply pass this to this parameter over here. Okay, so we have to do only this thing. So first we are targeting the parent element, that is div, and then we are targeting our first paragraph. Okay, so this will be our child, and then we are using this remove child method over here. Okay, so we want to remove this child, so we are removing it from a parent element. Okay, so we have to take this parent. So because we are removing this child from the parent, so first we'll use parent dot remove child, and then we have to mention which child. Okay, so we want to remove this child over here, so we are passing that particular variable inside this parameter. So we'll simply save this and let's check. So here we are not getting our first para. We'll refresh this. So now it is working because here we have commented all of our code, so it is replaced by this method over here. Okay, so this is also the way by which we can remove our child. Okay, so here we are removing the first para. Now here you can see we can also target this p2 like this, and here you will see first, here you can see first para is missing. Now when we refresh, second para is removed. Okay, and first para is coming. Okay, so because we are targeting the second para, the second para is removed over here. So here we have seen that we can remove the element either by using this remove method or by using this remove child method. So either of the ways is suitable according to your browser. Now next what we want is we'll use another method, that is replace child. So what it will do is it will simply replace the particular child with the child that you want to replace. Okay, suppose here we'll simply comment this out. Okay, like this. Now when we refresh, it will come as first para and second para. So here when we are appending this thing over here, so here first we'll comment out these and then we'll comment out these. Okay, so here you can see here we are adding this third para with the help of JavaScript. So what we want is don't want to append it at the topmost position, but we want to replace this first para and then we want to output this third para inside this place. Okay, in this place. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to replace this first para and we want to add this third para in this place over here. So what we'll do, we'll simply remove this. Okay, like this. So for doing using this replace child method over here, we'll simply copy this whole thing and we will paste over here. Okay, and simply we'll remove this like this and we will comment these two like this. Okay, so here what we are doing is we are first creating an element that is p, then we are creating a text node that is third para, and then we are adding this third para into this para variable over here, that is p element. Then we are targeting the div that is lm stored in the lm variable, and then we are adding this para into this. Here we are not adding it actually, so I will add it document dot, sorry, here we'll simply add lm dot append child like this, and we'll simply add our para over here like this. Okay, so it will be added in our third position, in the last position. Okay, so what we want is we want to remove this, replace this first para with this third para over here. Okay, so in order to target this first para, we first have to target this first para over here. Okay, this first para over here. So how can we do that? So we'll simply target this by its id, document dot get element by id, and it has an id of p1. Okay, so we are targeting that particular id and we will store it in a variable. Okay, variable child, suppose. Okay, so we are storing it in our child variable. Okay, so here we'll simply remove this like this. So here this is the, so suppose here I will remove the name over here. Okay, in order to understand it properly, I will give the name as parent variable. Okay, so this is the parent element, this is the child element. Okay, and here we are adding the paragraph Okay, here we are adding the paragraph, and inside that we are adding this text node over here. Now what we want is we want to replace this first para with this third para. Okay, so here in the next line we'll simply target our parent first. Okay, parent dot replace child. So we want to replace from the parent element. So we'll simply use the replace child method over here, and then first here it will take two parameters. Okay, so the first parameter, that it will be the element that is to be added. Okay, so we want to add the para, and we want to replace it with this variable child over here. Okay, then we will give the child variable over here. Okay, so we are adding this para with this, we are replacing this para with this p1 id over here, that is the variable child over here, and then we are replacing it in this parent element over here. Okay, so let's save it and see whether it works. So here you can see our first para is removed, and this third para replaces that first para text over here. Okay, so with the help of this replace child, we can replace any element with the newly added element. Okay, so always keep in mind that the first parameter here, it will be the added element, and the next element will be the method that you have to perform. Okay, suppose here you have to perform replace child, so you have to give that particular child that is to be replaced. Suppose here you want to use the remove child, so the second parameter will always be the remove child, only takes only the one parameter. Okay, the element that is to be removed. Okay, so like this we can also replace the child elements from the parent element. Okay, so these are some of the DOM properties that we used over here. Now we will continue in our next lecture.